Let's be honest. Have you ever felt like there's no light at the end of the tunnel? Like you've been wandering through a maze for years, and every turn you take, it leads you back to the exact same brick wall that you started at. Have you ever felt hopeless? See, one of the greatest weapons and strategies that the enemy likes to use against us is hopelessness. Yeah. See, hopelessness is more than just a bad day or a bad month or a bad season. Hopelessness is a state of mind that constantly whispers, this is just how it is. It's that crushing belief that things won't improve, and worse, it's the belief that things can improve. But friends, if you don't get anything out of this video today, please hear me on this. I want you to get this. I want you to know that there is hope. Let me say that again for those of you who are feeling hopeless. There is hope, and our hope, it isn't found in our circumstances changing, and our hope, it isn't even found in, our own strength, but our hope, it's found in Jesus Christ. The Bible tells us in Romans 15:13, it says, may the God of hope fill you with all joy and peace as you trust in him, so that you may overflow with hope by the power of the Holy Spirit. I want you to notice in this verse that God is called the God of hope. He doesn't just give us hope, he is our hope. And if you've lost your hope, or maybe you're at a point right now where you're just tired of trying to find it, let me show you 3 things that you need to do. So if you've been feeling hopeless and you're not quite sure what to do, the number 1 thing that you have to do, please do this today. Friend, you have to stop faking it. Yeah, take the mask off. Put the mask down. Listen, you don't have to perform. You don't have to pretend that you're okay. You don't have to do any of these things to be a good Christian. In fact, the Bible shows us the exact opposite. See, we have to get into the practice of lamenting. So what exactly does it mean to lament? Because that's not an everyday word that we use, right? So lament, it's a form of prayer. It's an act of bringing our rawest, most, uncensored pain and prayers to God. Many people think that you have to tidy up your emotions before praying, but a lament, it does the exact opposite. Okay, so it assumes that God is big enough to handle our anger. It assumes that he's big enough to handle our confusion, and that he's big enough to handle our despair, our heartbreak, our frustration. He's big enough. And we see this form of prayer in Psalm 13:1. I want you to read it. So David, we know David, he's a man after God's own heart, and he cries out to God. He says, how long, O Lord? He says, will you forget me forever? See, David, he didn't get in trouble for being honest. No, hopelessness isn't a sin. It's a human experience. And here's the thing I want you to know. God can handle your how long prayers. Yeah, he can handle your, God, I don't understand this prayers. He can handle your, God, I am beyond frustrated prayers. He's not asking for polished prayers. No, he's asking for your heart. So if you've been feeling hopeless, friend, I encourage you, spend some time today lamenting. Be real, be honest, be raw with God. He can handle it. So if you've been dealing with hopelessness, another thing that you have to do is that you have to fix your gaze, all right? You have to fix your focus. When we feel hopeless, a lot of times we tend to fixate on our circumstances. We tend to fixate on how things are right now, which honestly often is shifting and unstable, right? So instead of gazing and fixating on what's wrong and what's falling apart, you have to get your eyes and get your focus back on Jesus. You have to get your focus on his faithfulness. So if you're feeling hopeless today, I want you to stroll back down memory lane, okay? And I want you to think about a situation that felt impossible, but then God came through. I want you to go through your, Rolodex of memories, and I want you to think about times where God opened the impossible doors for you. Think about those times when he healed your heart when it was shattered in a million pieces. Think about those times where he provided when you had no clue where the resources would come from. See, God is faithful, and he doesn't fail no matter how dark, no matter how hopeless your situation may seem. So friend, I encourage you to fix your gaze, fix your focus. Finally, if you're feeling hopeless and you're not quite sure what to do, I want you to know this. Sometimes hopelessness, it paralyzes us because the future of the problem, it seems and it feels like it's just too big. I want you to look at Elijah in 1 Kings 19. See, Elijah was done with life and he asked God to die. But God didn't give him a lecture on theology. No. I want you to see what God did. God gave him a snack and he told him to take a nap. See, sometimes the most spiritual thing that you could do is to drink a glass of water, take a nap, pray, and focus on the next 5 minutes. You don't need a 10-year plan. You just need today's bread. You need to take one step at a time. So I don't want you, friends, please don't do this. Don't allow hopelessness to paralyze you from moving. Move forward, even if it's just one step at a time. If you're watching this today and you feel completely empty and hopeless and not quite sure what to do, I want you to remember this. Running out of strength, it isn't a dead end. No, it's an invitation. And God, He's inviting you right now. Right now, He wants you to cast all of your cares on Him because He cares for you. There's no problem too big. There's no situation too hopeless. God cares for you. And you know, your situation, it's temporary, but God's promises, they are permanent. Friends, I pray that this video, has helped you in some kind of way. I pray that you're encouraged. And if you have been helped or inspired and encouraged in any way, please, please, please share this with someone. Also like and subscribe so that you will be the first person to be notified when new videos are released. Friends, please, please, please remember that Jesus is our hope. Stay rooted. Bye. We'll talk soon.